Appreciate you joining me today. We're going to be thinking about building on the rock that is Jesus. Our hymn is called Built on a Rock.
Built on a rock, the church doth stand, even when steeples are falling. Crumbled have spires in every land, bells still are chiming and calling, calling the young and old to rest, calling the souls of men distressed, longing for life everlasting.
Appreciate it, Lee. Not the easiest hymn to sing, but I thank you for that. Not in our temples made with hands, God the Almighty is dwelling. High in the heavens his temple stands, all earthly temples excelling. Yet he who dwells in heaven above deigns to abide with us in love, making our bodies his temple. We are God's house of living stones, built for his own habitation. He fills our hearts, his humble thrones, granting us life and salvation. Where two or three to seek his face, he in their midst would show his grace, blessings upon them bestowing. Yet in this house and earthly frame, Jesus the children is blessing. Hither we come to praise his name, faith in our Savior confessing. Jesus to us his Spirit sent, making us his covenant, granting his children the kingdom. Built on a rock. Matthew 7, verse 24, Therefore whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand, and the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. The conclusion of the Sermon on the Mount. One of the things that we can clearly see is we are called to both hear the Lord's words and to do them. Verse 24. Respecting his authority, whoever hears these sayings of mine. We must hear and we must do. It's faith and works. A lot of people are willing, perhaps not even a lot of people anymore, but the number of doers is less than the hearers. Let me put it like that. Some are willing to hear, but very few are willing to do. And we are called to be doers. It talks about the trials, the rains that come, the storms, the floods came, the wind blew. And what we need to recognize is that the trials do come, and they are universal. They come to both the wise man and the foolish man. Storms, trials are no respecter of persons. And when you think about that, I want you might think about, we talk about the impartiality of the Lord, but you might also think about the impartiality of the devil. He just wants to get anybody. Now, granted, I think he's really, for those who are already in his back pocket, well, he's already gotten them. But in the sense of when the storms are impartial, the devil just wants as many as possible to be lost. And we recognize that truth. Doesn't matter if we're foolish or wise, the trials come. Sometimes we may think, well, the wise may be able to avoid the trials. No. Sometimes we may think, well, maybe the fools will escape the trials because of their foolishness. No, that's not how this works. Trials come to everyone. Back to our passage. Trials do not have to prevail. The house doesn't have to fall. We can endure because of Jesus. If we will hear the Lord's words and do them, we do not have to be lost. It doesn't have to happen. We see videos and pictures when hurricanes come on land. And every once in a while, you'll see in the mass of destruction, you'll see a single solitary house that someone built to a higher level than the houses around them. And one would look at the storm and look at the damage and say, man, there's no way that you could survive that. There's a way. And spiritually speaking, there's a way. And it's in Jesus, by hearing and doing. Remember, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom, but he who does the will of my Father above. Hearing and doing. And so we think about our hymn, Built on a Rock. Even when steeples are falling, spires are crumbling, we still recognize, we come to him as living stones. And he is the rock. And we are able to stand because we are built on him, because he stands. And so we dig deep, is what the parallel accounts talk about. We dig deep and we build on the rock. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our daily praise.